Hello everyone. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at an article from the Daily Mail that was published on September 25th, written by Geoff Earl, who's the deputy U.S. political editor for Daily Mail. Let's get into this here. Look at the title. Senator Elizabeth Warren claims Donald Trump is flirting with treason by refusing to commit to a peaceful transfer of power. They are literally trying to commit treason or sedition, depending how you want to look at it. They're trying to commit a coup. They're trying to rig the election. And she's talking about Trump flirting with treason? She is a fucking piece of work. Pocahontas, you are a joke. Okay, let's look at the bullet points here, or the lead-ins, or whatever you want to call them. The Massachusetts Democrat senator said Trump is not necessarily going to accept the will of the voters. How can we accept the will of the voters when you are literally creating a situation for rampant fucking fraud? That isn't going to be the voter's voice. That's going to be the person who stuffs the ballot box most, which is going to be the Democrats. So that isn't the voice of the people. That isn't the will of the voters. Fuck off. Trump on Wednesday refused to say he would accept a peaceful transfer of power. So basically, what you want is for him to say he will cuck once you rig the election. Fuck you. Not happening. Because he won't bow down to you. You're trying to say he's playing with treason. You're trying to commit treason. And you're trying to say that he's playing with it? Fuck you. Or that he's flirting with it? Kiss off. Trump said Thursday he isn't sure the election could be honest because with what the Democrats want, there is no way to maintain election integrity. And they're complaining because people, what was it, in the Carolinas or some shit? Oh, black people who couldn't follow fucking directions, didn't sign their shit, didn't date it, didn't get a witness, didn't do all this shit. And then they're like, well, their votes shouldn't be uncounted. They didn't follow the fucking rules. The White House said he would accept the results of a free and fair election. Yeah, a free and fair election, meaning he's not going to accept the election results that you're going to try to rig with, try to get by rigging the election. Fuck you. Warren said fellow Republicans enable him. Why? Because they've actually grown a fucking spine and don't allow you shitbricks in the Democrat Party to fucking walk all over them. They're enabling him? Fuck you, Pocahontas. She accused South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham of keeping a spine kept in a box somewhere else. Excuse me? He has a spine. He's standing up to you. So he must have it in, he must have access to it because he's telling you what he's going to do and you don't like it. Comments came as Senator Bernie Sanders called the presidential race an election between Donald Trump and democracy. Now, I love the fucking irony there. You have a fucking commie-loving, Soviet-loving commie, a communist, a full-blown fucking communist who tries to claim he's a democratic socialist, talking about democracy. That is fucking irony for you right there. That is fucking irony. A spineless little shitbrick who couldn't even stand up to the Democrat Party and call them out fucking him over because he's a punk bitch talking about democracy. Why don't you shut the fuck up? They stole the fucking nomination from you, Bernie, and you want to talk about fucking democracy, an election about democracy? They stole that shit from you. Shut the fuck up. Go fade away, you geriatric waste of space piece of shit who couch surfed until he was in his fucking 40s. Go fuck yourself. Waste of fucking space, lives off people most of his fucking life. Actually, his whole fucking life. 40 years, he lives off of other people, living on their couches and shit. Manages to get into politics, lives off of other fucking people. And he wants to, being the typical fucking commie, and he wants to talk about democracy when he's literally working off of the fucking, fruits of other people's labors. Fuck him. Anyway, let's get into the article here. Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren accused President Donald Trump of flirting with treason following the president's refusal to commit to a peaceful transfer of power earlier this week. You're basically saying, we're going to win the election, you're going to rig the election too, to do that, or try to, and you want him to just cuck and bend over and fucking take it. Fuck you, Warren. Oh, excuse me. Warren, a former presidential candidate who is seen as a key advisor to former Vice President Joe Biden when it comes to policy and personnel, made the comment on MSNBC as some Republicans sought to clean up or otherwise explain the president's comments. No, they didn't do that. They fucking backed him on that. They literally said, oh, well, this is ridiculous shit. We can't trust the election results when they're demanding everyone get a fucking ballot, when they're trying to treat ballots like Oprah Winfrey, okay, and even send them out to people who haven't voted in 7 fucking years going, you got a ballot, and you got a ballot, and you got a ballot, with no chain of custody. We can't trust the election. And they didn't fucking try to cover for him, you lying sacks of shit. Trump himself said Thursday that he isn't sure the election could be honest, and White House Press Secretary Kayleigh McEnany said he will accept the results of a free and fair election. Yes, when he also said, she also, why don't you give the full context, brought up the same points that he basically did about the fact of, like, you can't, how are you going to be able to trust the election when everyone and their mother's getting a ballot? Shit like that. Let's be honest here. When Donald Trump says that he is not necessarily going to accept the will of the voter, he is flirting with treason, Warren told MSNBC's Chris Hayes. But that's not what he said. He said he's not going to trust the election results when they can't be trusted because you people are trying to literally rig the fucking election by sending out everyone and their mother a fucking ballot that hasn't even voted for like 7 fucking years. You just want to mass mail that shit out. With no chain of custody getting to them, okay, with Democrat ballot harvesters out there going after, you know, preying on fucking senile old people and other mentally compromised people to get their votes and get them to vote Democrat. Fuck you. The will of the people. When you're preying on the people who don't have the faculties to see that you're preying on them, that is not the will of the people. And that's exactly what you shitbag Democrats did in California. You preyed on the elderly. You Democrat activists filled out ballots and said, oh yeah, I checked the one you wanted. And it looks like they may have checked their candidate as opposed to the candidate some of these people wanted. So what the fuck are you talking about? The will of the people. My ass. She continued, he's saying peaceful transition of power doesn't matter to him. No, that's not what he's saying. All that matters to him, once again, is Donald Trump and whatever Donald Trump wants, she said, Yahoo News reported. No, that's what you people are doing. You're literally projecting. It's what you want, and we're going to have to be force-fed it, whether we fucking like it or not. So fuck you. She accused GOP senators of enabling Trump. Several Republicans came out Thursday to state that the nation would accept the results of the elections, although none appeared to chastise Trump for his remarks because they know he's fucking right. See, this is literally the bullshit that you assholes are trying to push, that Trump is in the wrong for calling this shit out. When you literally have people in conservative media calling this shit out. You have people who aren't even in conservative media, okay? Average Americans calling it out. Hell, you even have lefties fucking calling this shit out because they hate Joe Biden that much. So don't even try to play it like, oh, it's just some fucking wild conspiracy theory. At the same time, Trump appears to have locked up total support from within his party for the person he will nominate for the lifetime appointment to succeed Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, including Senator Mitt Romney, Utah, who criticized Trump's comments on the transition of power. Now, here's the thing. God, let's go over here, okay? This is the one that they're saying that's going to be his choice. Amy Coney Barrett, okay? A slight problem. Layaway or whatever her name is, she's the better choice. She's an actual conservative. I can't even say her last name. I got to see it. Lagoe. Okay, there we go. I knew I couldn't fucking pronounce it right, but Lagoe. Okay? She's the choice that Trump should be making because she's an actual conservative. She's not a statist, okay? She's also a constitutionalist. This one right here is a fucking statist. This is the bitch who voted, okay, who ruled that Illinois' fucking constitutionally violating lockdown orders were fucking legit. She's the one who ruled that they were supposedly constitutional. This is not the bitch we want to have replace Ruth Bader Ginsburg. She's a fucking statist, globalist, deep state fucking plant. Okay, Legault, on the other hand, okay, minus the identity politics boxes she checks, okay, her years on the bench because, oh, well, she's a conservative because she clerked for Antonia Scalia. Okay, because she fucking clerked for Scalia. That supposedly makes her a conservative? No. Her rulings say otherwise. Whereas Lagoa, her rulings say that she's a constitutionalist and a conservative. And that's what really scares the fucking legacy media, which is why you've got, you know, these unnamed sources. They're trying to put this out there, see if the people are going to accept this before Trump announces it, because they really would rather have this deep state piece of shit than they would Lagoa. Because Lagoa, they see this one, they can fucking fight against her. Okay? But the left, with all their identity politics bullshit, they can't go against Lagoa, which is why they want this one. Anyway, let's get back to the article. Anyway, so yeah, Romney's on board, blah, 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 yeah. Fundamental to democracy is the peaceful transition of power, Romney said Wednesday evening. Any suggestion that a president might not respect this constitutional guarantee is both unthinkable and unacceptable, she said. Well, here's the thing. If it's a legitimate and fair fucking election and you're not stuffing the ballot boxes like you fucking intend to do, well then shit. Peaceful transition of power. But when you are literally trying to do that, to commit a coup, to commit treason, why should he bow down and cuck to you and allow for you to get away with that? He should stand up to you and go, no, 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 fuck you. But you don't want that. You think you'll rig the election and you'll fucking get away with this shit, and he should just bend over and fucking take it, and all of his supporters should bend over and fucking take it. Fuck you. Seriously. These Republican senators, to enable him in that, to support him in that, and to start to talk about the November 3rd election as if it isn't about voters getting their choice, but it's about Supreme Court justices getting their choice, she said. What? That makes no fucking sense. All right. So anyway, these Republican senators, to enable him in that, enable him? Why? Because they've got fucking spines and they're not bowing down to you to support him in that because they know that you're fucking up to shady shit? Fuck you. Deal with it. And this idea of the stock talking about the November 3rd election as if it isn't about voters getting their choice, but it's about the Supreme Court getting their choice. Oh, so basically, that's what they don't like. See, they're afraid that he fills the position that their little coup isn't going to fucking take place. That's what this is about. That's why she's saying that about the Supreme Court. She said it means that they are party to it, she added. Party to what? Making sure that your little fucking coup isn't going to be able to be pulled off? Because there's going to be a judge in there, hopefully Lagota, who will be legit and call you out for your shit? I'm hoping that's who he nominates. Because the other broad there, she's a fucking joke. She's a statist piece of shit. She tore into Senator Lindsey Graham, who told the people to use those words against me when he said he would oppose taking up a nomination and an election year the next time around, but said immediately after Ginsburg's death he is scheduling hearings days before the election. But see, they're taking that out of context. It was also referring to the fact of you had a Republican Senate, a Democrat president, and he had the rights to say fuck you, and that was referring to the fact of Garland and shit like that. It wasn't a general sweeping statement. Lindsey Graham had simply said, Donald Trump has my proxy on this. Senate doesn't need to look at it. If the president's good, Lindsey Graham is good. Man, there's a man with a spine, she said. She called it a spine kept in a box somewhere else because he certainly doesn't have it to exercise for himself. Wait a minute, he's exercising his spine. What gets me is Lindsey Graham, okay, no longer has his fucking McCain's fist up his ass. And because he doesn't, and he's actually thinking for himself, he now doesn't have a fucking spine because he isn't being fucking McCain's bitch. You gotta love the fucking logic of these establishment Democrats and the neocons and shit like that. Lindsey Graham don't have a fucking spine because he no longer has fucking McCain's hand up his ass propping him up, and he's actually standing on his own. Okay. Senator Bernie Sanders, Vermont, said Thursday Trump was attempting massive voter suppression and was sowing the seeds of chaos, confusion, and conspiracy theories by casting doubt on the integrity of the election. Wait, how is voter suppression stopping your fucking people from literally, because I don't care if they're labeling you as an independent. You're not a fucking independent. You're a fucking Democrat, you piece of shit. You're a fucking Democrat piece of shit like the rest of them. But anyway, how is he trying to commit voter suppression when he's just trying to stop the you know, the sending out a ballot to everyone and their fucking mother, just mass ballots, okay, as opposed to people requesting them. That's not voter suppression. If you can go to Walmart, you can go and vote. If you can go to McDonald's, you can go and vote. If you can go to the movie theater, you can go and vote. If you can go to fucking Home Depot, you can go and vote. No voter suppression, Bernie. Shut the fuck up. And he's not trying to cast doubt on the integrity of the election. He's calling out the fact that you people are trying to rig the election and you're complacent with it. You're a participating party, whether you're actively participating or not, because you know what the fucking shit, you know what's going on. You know what shit they're up to. But instead of having a spine, you, being the fucking little waste of space you are, okay, have cucked to the Democrats and you're allowing them to get with it because you got no fucking integrity, Bernie. You got no fucking moral center because you're a little commie piece of shit. They stole the election from you. You know they did. But you're going to go along with this shit, you spineless waste of space? Grow a fucking sack, Bernie. This is an election between Donald Trump and democracy must win, Sanders added. Funny coming from a fucking little commie waste of space. But Sanders said, having lost the Democratic nomination to Joe Biden months ago because they rigged the fucking election against him. Let's just ignore that. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell tweeted early Thursday that the winner of the November 3rd election will be inaugurated on January 20th. There will be an orderly transition, just as there has been every 4 years since 1792, he continued. Trump set off a political storm with his comments Wednesday when he was asked at the White House, win, lose, or draw in this election, will you commit here today to a peaceful transferal of power after the election? Why was I saying transmission? But transferal of power after the election. Well, we'll have to see what happens, Trump replied, entertaining the question, but also refusing to commit. I love this. He's basically calling out the fact that you fuckers are trying to rig the election and that you're running propaganda in the legacy media. And you're trying to make him look like the bad person for exposing you. You fucking cocksuckers. You are pieces of shit. You're the wastes of space of society. Get rid of the ballots and you'll have a very Get rid of the ballots and you'll have a very peaceful. There won't be a transfer, frankly. There'll be a continuation, Trump said. That's got to be taken out of context. That makes absolutely no fucking sense. But get rid of the ballots and you'll have a very peaceful. Okay, so basically what we're saying is there won't be a peaceful transfer. That makes no sense. I don't think that's him in context. I really don't. I mean, this is ridiculous. They're literally trying to play this as a situation where Trump is the fucking one that's playing shady fucking games, and it's them. They're basically telegraphing what they're going to do. And that they expect him to just bend over and take them fucking rigging the election like they did in 2016. They tried to rig the election then, but too many Trump supporters showed up and not enough fucking Hillary supporters did, that even with the fix-in, they couldn't get away with it. For fuck's sake, they got caught stuffing ballot boxes in Detroit because of Stein's fucking Green Party bitch, you know, because of the Green Party bitch doing a recount in Michigan. In Detroit, they found way more ballots than they had registered voters. And we all know that you don't have all your registered voters going to vote. Okay, they had thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon thousands of ballots left to count during that recount after they hit the number of people who were registered voters. And then Stein, because Hillary went, you're going to expose me, bitch. I'll fucking kill you. I'm assuming that's what the conversation was when, oh, nothing to see here. I want to stop my recount. Nothing to see. It also didn't help that they were picking up votes for Trump there. I mean, this is ridiculous shit. They get caught with that shit in 2016 and they're like, there's no proof that we've ever tried to rig an election. They get caught during the Kennedy fucking presidency, fucking stuffing ballots in fucking Illinois, in Chicago. Nothing to see here. We never did that. It's fucking common fact at this point. It's known. It's historical fucking fact that the Democrats had fucking dead people listing the cemetery they were buried in as their residences and were voting. That's historical fucking fact. Oh no, there isn't an election fraud problem. There isn't a voting fraud problem. It's been going on for fucking untold decades. You're going to try doing it now and you just expect that there's a fucking cuck that's going to put up with your shit and name Trump? Fuck you. He's going to stand up to it. They're trying to create this narrative that he's not going to accept the quote-unquote legitimate election results when they're rigging the election. It's bullshit. Or at least they're trying to rig the election. Fucking Pocahontas should just shut the fuck up and fade away. She should have been canceled for her shit by the left's logic. I wish she had been, then we wouldn't have to listen to her retarded dipshit fucking takes on things. Or watch her try to fucking look like she's the everyman type of person drinking a beer. Anyway, I've covered this well enough. I'm leaving things here. If you liked this video, depending on where you are watching it, please give it an upvote or thumbs up. If you want to know when new content of mine hits the internet, don't forget to subscribe to one or more of my social media or video accounts listed here. Also, with YouTube, don't forget to ring that bell. You can find all of my video content on both BitChute and YouTube. This may not be the case with other places I upload to, but I will try to minimize this happening. You are always welcome to interact with me at any of these sites on the list, so feel free to do so. If you have anything you want me to cover in a video, when it comes to news or current events, send it right along to me. I will try to do my best to cover it. As always, thank you for watching.